Joel Schumacher. What do you think of when you think of the name Joel Schumacher? Many people would think of the name Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, Phantom of the Opera, and The Wiz. All those terrible movies. No. What I think of when I think of Joel Schumacher is Michael Douglas going through a life troubles and battling his way through the normal life troubles of living in LA and society. Of course, I'm talking about the movie Mamma Mia. No, just kidding. I'm talking about the movie Falling Down. Falling Down is a great movie. Great movie. Might be one of my favorites. Definitely the best Joel Schumacher movie. Now, this is an interesting review for me because I've reviewed, a TV action, mostly like fantasy action movies, like, Batman, Star Wars, Terminator, Legend of Korra, Avatar, all that stuff. All that wonderful stuff. But this is the first movie I have done that's more towards real life rather than fantasy. And it's been brought to us by Joel Schumacher, who really can direct a movie. Falling Down and Phone Booth are two great movies and demonstrate that Joel Schumacher can actually direct a good movie. Phone Booth was a good movie. Falling Down is a great movie. Joel Schumacher should just stick to cop dramas of reality instead of doing like his fantasy stuff, which is really bad. Like, I heard The Clan was not bad. I haven't seen it, but I heard it was pretty good. Now, this movie is about a man who is just sick of life. He's just sick of it. His wife got a restraining order. It's his daughter's birthday. He just can't stand being stuck in traffic, so he just goes on a rampage over LA on society and how ethically messed up society is. It's kind of a social commentary on how unbalanced and how our life in reality doesn't make sense. Like, for example, Burger King. Well, it's not really Burger King. It's a fast food joint in this movie. They display a lumptious, delicious hamburger, and and this is true, when you get in real life, it's like squashed, it's gross, it's like thin. It's true. Or like how stores charge way too much for soda. Or how plastic surgeons make millions of dollars and their line of work doesn't mean anything to society. Where somebody who makes missiles to protect our country is like a low income person. It shows all of society's illogical ways of living. How illogical the system really is, and it's still like that today as it was in 1992. This movie displays that really well. It's a great plot, and we get two main characters. We have Michael Douglas. He plays a man named I can't remember his name. I'm terrible with characters' names because when I see a character like of an actor I know, I think of that actor. So I'm just gonna call him Michael Douglas. Michael Douglas is plays the man who battles reality. He takes out gangsters. He believe it or not, even though he is portrayed as like an anti-hero in this movie, kind of a bad guy, he's actually done some good things. He took out gangsters. That's pretty good, you know. Um, but this movie is really well acted and it's really well casted. Like Michael Douglas, great performance. Michael Douglas, this role was made for him. This role was made for Michael Douglas. This is, I think, his best performance. He just does a great job at portraying a man who's lonely, just wants to see his daughter. He's just sick of how reality and the system of reality works. He is a very logical thinker. He he can't stand when something makes sense, and Michael Douglas portrays this really well. Then we have Ed Harris, not Robert Duvall. Robert Duvall plays this cop. He's a workaholic, he's gonna retire, but he's been following Michael Douglas around. This case of all these the terror that Michael Douglas has caused throughout Los Angeles and the Venice Beach area. And he's trying to catch Michael Douglas throughout the movie. And now we have two opposing forces. We have Michael Douglas, a man who wants to get home, and we have Robert Duvall, a man who doesn't want to be home. He does not want to be home. He wants to work. He wants to help LA. He loves being a cop. His wife can't stand him being a cop. She's always worried about him. She wants him to retire and move to Arizona, and he doesn't like that. He wants to have a purpose of being a cop. It helps him not feel useless. And Michael Douglas is a man who can't stand the work world, whereas Robert Duvall can't live. He needs his job. He loves it, whereas Michael Douglas can't stand the world of work. He can't stand it. He just wants to be with his family, where he's happy. He wants to go home, whereas Robert Duvall wants to stay and work where he's happy. He's not happy with his wife and family. Two opposing characters. They look very similar. They both wear white dress shirt with a tie. They're very similar characteristics. They're a perfect match for each other. You don't see that in movies nowadays. You don't see, the latest was maybe Batman and the Joker in The Dark Knight. That's it. Cop movies, this is a perfect example of it's a movie on reality, but it's also a good cop movie. It's not like an action movie. This is a serious movie. Movies nowadays, Walk Among the Tombstones, which it wasn't terrible, but I didn't care whether this guy, helps these people, whether he deserves a badge or not, whether, you know what I mean? Whereas Michael Douglas, you really want to see him succeed. You really want him to stay a cop where he's comfortable. He has friends. He's positive. He doesn't cuss. He wants to feel. He doesn't want to feel useless. And you want him to succeed in catching the bad guy. Great writing, great dialogue. This movie has not only great acting, but great dialogue. Great dialogue. This is some of the best dialogue, not just from Joel Schumacher, but from Robert Duvall and Michael Douglas. They're the acting is superb, but the dialogue is amazing. Especially, watch. If you want to know how the dialogue is perfect in this movie, watch two scenes. Go to YouTube. Just watch the whole movie. Watch the whole movie. It's a great movie, but if you want to see the two scenes that really display the writing in this movie, watch the hamburger scene. Type in falling down fast food scene or burger scene. Type in falling down burger scene or falling down I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt your daughter. Those two scenes, In one scene, he's talking about how he wants breakfast, how you're not treating him. The customer's always right, and you're not treating him like the customer is right. He wants breakfast, and and he doesn't get why your burger looks beautiful and scrumptious on the menu, but looks like a sack of potatoes when you get it. Great scene. Also, the scene where this I'm not gonna hurt your daughter scene. He's holding this family who is watching over this plastic surgeon's house. He talks about how this is a plastic surgeon's house, and you basically get his life story. Great scene, great writing from Michael. Not Michael. Great acting from Michael Douglas, but Joel Schumacher. Great directing. He can direct. Joel Schumacher can direct. This is not just a good movie, it's a great movie because it displays how, even though, we love our reality, our reality is kind of grim, but we live with it, we put up with it. But this movie displays how illogical it can be. If you sit down to think about it, how the system is so unethically illogical. And it's true, and this movie's true. He worked for missiles, but he is he's low income. He tries to get a better job and all that. Then he sees his plastics, and he protected our country, and he's not that rich. And he's treated badly every day by his wife, by society, like people in the store and stuff like that. And and it's true, people who protected our country, who done important things, are don't get anything. They don't get recognized at all. Whereas a plastic surgeon who contributes absolutely nothing to society is living in $1 million mansion. And that's just it's so I love that idea. And it's not just that it's a great scene where he has he's a mean guy. But he's right, when he's talking about how overpriced the Korean guy's gas station is. You know, he's right when he's talking about the burger. He is right when he confronts a neo-Nazi. He's right when he confronts gangsters. He is very extreme. He has a bad temper, but his ideal on society is true, you know? And, how he deals with, bums. It's just great look. It's maybe not the most pleasant look on society, but it's the most true look on society. And I love movies that make you think about how you are living, how 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 our world is like, how our society works, how the system works. I love movies that is portrays how life is really like. I love this movie. And the acting and the dialogue, love the idea it portrays in your mind. I love the acting, love the directing, love the dialogue, great dialogue. Falling Down, I recommend it. I give this movie a 95 out of 100. 4 out of 4 stars. 2 thumbs up. Watch this movie. And now I'm gonna get into spoiler territory. Now in this video, like it, comment, God bless ya. But I'm gonna get into spoilers, so turn this off right now. The reason why I don't give it a full 100 is there's one thing. The ending is actually very sad. He gets shot by the good cop. And he is dressed up, he's shot, but he just wanted to see his daughter on her birthday. And in the end he gets a bullet. I would have liked it better if he would have had more of a positive outcome with his family. I would have loved it if it would have had not just so sad. It kind of makes you feel like he didn't accomplish, what he was trying to do. He would have felt very satisfied if the guy just finally got to see his daughter on his birthday positively gave her the present of like a horse. And but again, he gets shot. He loses the present in the neo-Nazi store. And yeah, I mean, but it's just a great movie, and it displays how crazy people are like the bum or the guy who owns the neo-Nazi store. There are people like that, and it warns us of what we've gone into, what we have become in our society. And don't get me wrong, our society has become very beautiful in some sense, but in some sense, it's very messed up and illogical, and sometimes unfair. And this movie displays how life is unfair. But again, even though the ending's not positive, it displays it in not really to make you feel negative, but to make you think about it. And I just love this movie. I definitely recommend it. If you love movies that make you think about the society you live in, if you like movies with great dialogue, if you like movies with great acting, really displays Robert Duvall and Michael Douglas's acting. Very good character driven, and if you want a movie that's a good social commentary on how our society is, watch this movie, Falling Down. I recommend it. 95 out of 100, 4 out of 4 stars, thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. Great movie. And that's all I have to say. Comment, subscribe, leave me recommendations for reviews. I'm gonna also be doing, movie reviews and trailer theories. There hasn't been really any good trailers lately. I might do one on the Avengers, but I don't know much about the Avengers. I'm more of a DC fan than a Marvel fan, so I don't know if I can really do really familiar with that world on doing a theory video. But again, back to subject. Falling Down, recommend it. God bless ya. See you next time.